excited for today. Today is something that might give you a couple epiphanies. Yesterday, we talked deeper about your vision, how to properly set up your visuals so that they can actually become your reality. Today, we're going to get into some real talk because I don't know if you know what this is, but to be stuck in the mud, it's not fun. You might have felt it before. And I want to share with you the phases that we go through going towards said visuals to make them become a reality, but sometimes we stop about halfway or like a quarter of the way when we were really, really close to actually gaining that momentum and making it happen. So let's jump into this. I call it the roller coaster of making ish happen. So yes, I love Disney. I also just want it to be known that I don't love roller coasters unless they're like tame-ish. I mean, Space Mountain is like my threshold. Space Mountain is my new favorite thing ever, which I never thought that that would happen. So maybe I should just keep trying roller coasters, but I'm not necessarily a roller coaster gal. However, by the way, if you're on live or in the comments, whether you're on live or in the comments at post live, I want to know your favorite roller coaster. And if you don't do roller coasters, then just say it's a small world and we'll call it a day. All right. So here is the different phases of the coaster of making ish happen. Ish is a nice word for something else because we don't really swear on YouTube. So step number 1, I have my notes in front of me and I'm going to kind of draw this out for you guys. So step 1, you're like on the tracks, ready to take off. You're ready to make stuff happen. Like you're all in. And the thing is, usually at this phase, it's new, it's exciting. You're excited for the challenge. Like you're ready for it all. Very similar to New Year's Day, January 1st. Everybody's like, sky's the limit. I've got this. Or day 1 of the daily grind. If you're still here and you were here on day 1, that's rare. Just so you know, you are a rare person. You are potentially the 1%. We'll see if you're still here on day 31. That's my challenge to you. Now, step 1, the ready for takeoff. Like we're ready for it. We're excited. We're pumped up. We're excited for the challenge. Like that's really phase 1. And I'm sure that you can think of a time where you've felt that before. You might feel that now with something, but you think of that thing that you want to make happen and you're like, let's go. Okay. So that's phase 1. Cool. We can all think of a time that we felt that, or maybe you feel that now about a certain goal. 2, the second phase is the climb. Literally when you're like, tick, 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 going all the way up. I'm literally thinking Space Mountain right now. This is where you need the discipline and the effort and you still got a little bit of that excitement. So like you're really pushing forward and you're excited. You don't know what's to come, but you're ready for it. And then the dip happens. And then you kind of dip all the way down and you get stuck in this spot. And yeah, the dip is like things are happening. We're going. But when you get to that low point on the coaster, you're not sure if you're going to be able to go back up and keep going. So here's what happens at that bottom part in the coaster. And this is phase 3. And this is the most common phase because it's usually where people stop. It's usually the end for the majority of people because not everybody's the 1%, correct? Like for the 99 percentile, this is the common area. I call it being stuck in the mud. It's literally like the coaster went like, "Rrr." So here's what happens. There's challenges because you got to keep that momentum going. There's challenges that you face. There is criticism. There is self-doubt like we talked about. There's fear of failure, fear of success. There is time. There's all the excuses and the monsters that we might be making bigger in our mind. Again, we've talked about this. And here's what happens. You have 2 options. So option 1, when you're at phase 3, is either just stay stuck and accept defeat and accept that those excuses are your reality. Doesn't sound like fun. And we also talked about what the future looks like when you stay stuck. Not super fun. The other option is that you keep going and you keep that momentum forging forward. And the only way to keep that momentum forging forward is just by doing stuff. It doesn't mean the right stuff. You're just doing the things. You're showing up, right? I feel like that's going to be like the theme of the daily grind, show up. Now, step 5, if you're not going to be stuck and you're going to keep going, so you either stay stuck or you keep going. There's going to be a loop. I don't like loops. None of us do. But here's the thing. When you think that you're past the mud and that you're stuck in the mud, there will be 4 more loops before you get to that finish line. Something's going to throw you. There's going to be twists and turns because no goal worth having will ever be the perfect journey to get there. No goal worth having or worth pursuing will ever have the perfect journey to arrive at that destination. There will always be loops and corkscrews and turns that you don't expect, and you gotta roll with it because you're on the ride. Cool? So after that loop, and you can think of the way that I like to see the loops, you won't always anticipate them, but I like to try and think about what I can anticipate. If I know that this, situation could happen going into the pursuit of that goal, what might be difficult, what challenges might get thrown my way, I try and anticipate those. Again, you don't always, and the best way to anticipate them is just to know that they're coming. You might not know what it is, but that just to know it's not going to be easy, it's going to be challenging, and I'm here for the ride. Phase 6, this is what happens when you don't stay stuck in the mud. You cross the finish line, you're at the top of the roller coaster, you made it, you did all the things, you achieved the goal. It's not the last phase though, because some people stop here. And this is where, if you've ever achieved something really big in your life and it's kind of been a long time since you have, may I just make a suggestion that you need to learn to celebrate yourself? That's phase 7. How are you going to celebrate? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through step 1 through 7. And I'm going to map these out for you. I literally wrote these out. So phase 1 is, what's the challenge? Like, you're ready for takeoff. What is the current challenge? Like, what's the thing that you're going after that you're so excited about? What's the goal? Pick something from your vision board or your top 10 to do, your top 10 goals this month. What is it? Number 2, what is the daily discipline that you need to go on that upward hill, that up into Space Mountain or whatever roller coaster it is that you're on? 3, you go down, super fun, and you're like, dang, I'm stuck in the mud. What is the mud? If you're in the mud right now, what does it look like? What's holding you back? Where are you stuck? Why are you stuck? What's happening? What could be the thing that gets you stuck? Now, number 4, we already wrote this out, so you know the answer to this. What happens if you stay stuck? What does life look like? 5, what are some loops that you can anticipate with this big goal? And number 6, finish line date. When is this happening? When is this roller coaster ending? And then how are you celebrating? That's number 7. So those are the 7 steps to getting ish done, the roller coaster of life, and just the big stuff that really matters to you. So write that out, and bonus points to the people that can associate this with their favorite roller coaster and actually get after it. But when you start seeing it this way, you know that you're just on a ride, and you stop labeling yourself as the person that is the failure. It's just the mud. It's just temporary. But you decide if you stay stuck there or if you keep going. It's literally just part of the journey. Cool? I hope that this shed some light. I know that it's a funny analogy, but I thought it was perfectly on brand for me and perfectly on brand for you probably. So I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Bye, you guys.
Let's go.